let's talk about something that so many people wonder about. You know, it's this incredibly frustrating feeling, like you're stuck on a financial treadmill and you just can't get off no matter how hard you run.
I mean, you see it everywhere, right? People are working hard, they're earning a paycheck, but when you look at their lives year after year, nothing really changes. They just aren't getting ahead. And we usually chalk it up to things like bad luck or not having the right opportunities. But what if that's not the real story at all? What if I told you that for most people, luck has almost nothing to do with it? That the biggest thing holding them back isn't some force out there in the world. Nope, it's actually something happening inside their own minds. We're talking about hidden patterns, subconscious beliefs, these invisible scripts that are running the show, making their financial decisions for them, and they don't even know it's happening. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now. So if you boil it all down, it really comes to a battle between two completely different ways of thinking, and it's all about this one core idea. Are you operating in survival mode, or are you in growth mode? Think of it like this. Are you playing defense with your money, just trying not to lose the little you have? Well, that's the survival mindset. Or are you playing offense, focused on how you can win in the long run? That's the growth mindset. And which one you choose, well, it changes absolutely everything. Someone stuck in a survival mindset is basically living their life putting out one fire after another. All their focus is on right now, today, this week, this paycheck. The goal isn't really to get ahead, it's just to not fall behind. And that makes a person terrified of risk and totally focused on what feels safe and comfortable right now, instead of what could pay off big later. And here's the thing, we aren't born this way, not at all. It's something we learn. Just think back. What were the first things you ever heard about money? Was it from your parents, your friends, the community you grew up in? All of that stuff creates this financial blueprint in our heads. It teaches us whether to look at an investment and see a disaster waiting to happen or to see a calculated opportunity. So if that survival mindset is the operating system running in the background, then these next four things we're about to talk about, they're like the buggy programs that keep it running. They're the invisible walls that keep people trapped in a cycle they can't seem to break. We're going to break down all four of these psychological traps. And as we go through them, I want you to ask yourself, do any of these sound familiar? Maybe you see it in people you know, or maybe even a little bit in yourself. This right here, this is the voice of trap number one, instant gratification. It's that powerful primal urge for a reward right now. It's choosing to buy that new phone today instead of putting that same money into a retirement account you can't even picture. Why? Because that short-term hit of pleasure from buying something feels so much more real than some far-off, abstract gain in the future. Okay, next up is social conditioning. You know this one. It's the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing. If everybody around you is leasing a new car, going on fancy vacations, and posting pictures from expensive restaurants, the pressure to keep up is just immense. We're wired to be social, and the fear of getting left behind can make us spend money in ways we know are just digging us into a deeper hole. Oh, this one is a big one. The survival mindset looks at any kind of financial risk and sees a complete catastrophe. The thought of investing some money and, heaven forbid, losing it is so scary that it just feels safer to do nothing at all. But that's the trap, you see. By trying to avoid any risk of loss, you also guarantee you will never, ever have a significant gain. Your money is safe, sure, but it's also stuck. And that brings us to the most dangerous trap of all, the limiting belief. This isn't just a thought, it's a core part of someone's identity. It's the story they tell themselves. I'm just not a money person, or people like me, we just don't get rich. And once you believe that story, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because honestly, why would you even try to change something if you truly believe it's impossible? Okay, so we've looked at the traps. It's kind of bleak, I know. But here's the good news. Let's talk about how to actually break free. And the solution, it's not some complicated secret. It's really just a conscious mental shift away from each of those four things. And here's the path forward. Each and every trap has a direct antidote. Instead of instant gratification, you consciously choose delayed gratification. Instead of being paralyzed by a fear of failure, you practice calculated risk-taking. And you fight those limiting beliefs by adopting a learning mindset. You realize you can grow. And as for social pressure, the shift is deciding what success looks like for you, not for your neighbor. It really all starts with this: delayed gratification. It's like a muscle. You have to train it. You probably heard of that famous marshmallow experiment with the kids, right? The kids who could wait to get 2 marshmallows later instead of eating one right away went on to be way more successful in life. That's skill. That's the foundation for saving, for investing, for building any kind of wealth.
And this is a huge one. People with a growth mindset see failure completely differently. For them, it's not the end of the road, it's just data. A business idea that didn't work out or a bad investment isn't a sign that you're a loser. It's a tuition payment. You just paid for a really valuable lesson. They get that trying and failing is so much better than never trying at all.
All right, now we're at what I think is the most powerful and honestly the most hopeful part of this whole thing. This is the idea that really unlocks everything we've been talking about. Just look at this. Getting ahead with money is not an intelligence test. You do not have to be a genius. You don't have to understand the stock market like a pro. Overwhelmingly, it is a game of behavior. It's about your habits, your discipline, your mindset. Those things are so much more important than how high your IQ is. So, what's the biggest takeaway here? The real problem is that these patterns are invisible to the people who are stuck in them. They don't see it as a pattern. They just think, well, that's just life. So the very first, most important step you can take to change anything is just awareness. It's seeing the pattern for what it is. And that's what's so empowering. You're not being asked to change the entire economy or go back and change your past. All you have to do is change the way you think about the choices in front of you. And that is 100% in your control. Which really brings us to the end, and to one final question that I want you to take with you. Seriously, think about it. Look at the choices you've made recently with your money, the thoughts you have about it, how you react to risk. The answer to this one question, well, it just might be the most important financial discovery you ever make.